to this point, that's kind of usually where it settles in that we are indeed
We're
on
into
the
the long
road.
haul at that point.
On the road into the long haul to Vegas. We are now fully vaccinated. So masks will not necessarily apply to us in most places in Vegas when we get there.
Which is going to be weird.
Which is going to be really weird and interesting. We are still taking masks with us. We are still taking, things to sanitize with and such. So, we have kind of always been of the mindset that, masks are something really easy for us to do. We don't, although they can be, somewhat of a nuisance at times, if we're helping to protect somebody else, then it's a really small ask and we're happy to do it. That's kind of always been our stance on that. So if we are required to wear masks somewhere, we're not going to fuss over it. It's not going to be a big deal to us. We do not mind. So that's kind of where we sit on that in particular. Now, we have several other vloggers that we like to watch and kind of keep an eye on to see how things are going. Tanya and Dave of Turn It Up World are one of our favorites, as well as like Bill and Lisa, if you guys follow them. They're really fantastic, and especially Tanya and Dave have been they've been in Vegas almost solidly through their initial reopening. I think they're back and forth between Boston and Vegas mostly right now, and I know they've been in large part in Vegas, and they've been really doing a fantastic job at showing the crowds and kind of giving updates on how things are reopening. So we've been watching them really closely.
And really kind of instrumental in sort of like being able to sort of plan this trip.
Yeah.
They've been going places, and now, we want to check some things out. Different restaurants that they've been eating at, we definitely want to check out. But also just to get an idea of what the crowds are looking like has been really, pretty invaluable.
Now, I know tomorrow is a huge day in Vegas, as things like valet parking and paying to self-park is going to return. A lot of pools are opening, or opening larger sections of the pools, going to a higher capacity. Basically everything is going to be full capacity when we go, and in large part no mask restrictions for those who have been vaccinated. Now, they are not checking they're not asking for your vaccination records at this time, to prove that you've been vaccinated.
It's all honor.
So it's all honor system at this time. We wanted to go and see how things felt with full capacity opening up. We wanted to see if we still felt, does it feel safe? How do I feel as an empath? Am I going to feel claustrophobic in Vegas? Now, again, we've been to Vegas many times, but before the pandemic hit. So I already have tools in my toolbox to help mitigate some of those things. I've been posting some of those things over the last week or so on Instagram, and I hope that has been helpful to you all. I did really plan on doing a pre-trip video just talking about like planning and packing with my birthday and everything else. We really didn't get the opportunity to do that. Brian's also working right now from home, so I didn't get the opportunity to film any of that, but I still intend to do that, maybe sometime when we get back, and just kind of going over what my processes for that are and sharing that with you guys. But I will say, especially for empaths, take your time in the planning process, because I feel like, for me, I'm a planner, I'm a researcher. I like to do all of those things, and it really does actually help to lower my stress levels. I mean, sometimes I get a lot of flack for things like, you're over planning, or you're stressing yourself out more by planning, and I really started realizing that, I don't. The longer that I take to plan, the more things that I can address before we actually leave. It feels like the more things I'm actually placing further away from me, because I've already touched on it. I've already addressed it, and it doesn't feel like it's weighing on me anymore. I can put it aside because I know that that's something that I already thought about. And then if something, comes up or falls through the cracks, it's, maybe one or two minor things, but it's nothing huge. So I don't feel overwhelmed. So we just wanted to come on and show you a bit of the drive. It's really interesting because, so we're in Anaheim, and this morning in Anaheim, we left the house and it was about 62, 63 degrees. I think the high... And overcast. I think the high in Anaheim today is like 75. High today in Vegas is going to be 100. When I opened my weather app at 8 a.m. this morning and looked at Vegas, it was already 88. We are just now starting to kind of cross into that kind of higher desert area. We're basically in Hesperia right now, and I will tell you, it is warm.
Definitely feel the warmth. just getting up to the top of the hill, and all of a sudden it was 15 degrees warmer.
As the fair-skinned redhead in the family, I mean, you can already probably see my skin getting pink. I'm the person that burns inside the car with the windows that are tinted rolled up, like, I can feel the sizzling of my skin at this very moment. So I will probably request the air come on fairly soon. And we have flown to Vegas. I will tell you that flying to Vegas is beautiful. It is a breeze, especially from Southern California. And usually, like, our go-to place to fly out of is Long Beach. It's a smaller airport. We like it. It's no fuss, no muss. It's pretty quick and easy. And when we fly out of Long Beach, it's about a 45-minute flight. And it's really funny because pretty much as soon as you reach altitude, you're in the air for about 3 to 5 minutes before you start to descend.
They have enough time to run the drink cart up and down. They literally run the drink cart one direction and then start collecting
collecting it pretty much.
And then we land.
Babe. There you go. I would say research before you go. Check a lot of these places' websites too. I know a lot of people like to use the travel websites. I like to use travel websites to get an overall view of the deals that are available. But I generally do not book through travel websites. Like, I will check things like Kayak and Travelocity and Priceline, Hotels.com, things like that before. Cheap flights. I like to look at cheap flights. But after checking and seeing what's available, I'll kind of make notes of some of the places that I saw that I liked. And then I will generally go to their home websites and see if they have a better deal. And 99.9% of the time, you will find a better deal on the home website of that hotel, car rental place, whatever. They would prefer that you book through them. I have also found that what is available will usually be a little bit better, like especially if you want things like upgrades. Upgrades are usually a lot easier to get, or specifics. Like if you're going to Vegas and you want a strip view room, you're probably not going to be able to get that detailed or make those kinds of requests on that third-party travel site, or at least not to an extent of actually getting them to honor it. I feel like through the third-party sites, they're giving you pretty bare bones. And sometimes that's all you need. That's all you require. And if you're doing a last-minute trip and you don't have time, then that's fine. Go for it. Use that.
Yeah, if you just need a room in Vegas, and you don't necessarily want to drill down on some specifics, like having a strip view room, or like having a specific tower, or like say at the Bellagio if you want the fountain view room, those third-party sites are great because you're going to get a room.
We do drive while we're there. We do like to spend some time off strip, especially if we have like little things that we need to go and pick up. Especially if you're driving, you want to think about things like water, snacks, things like that. Usually we will pick up a really nice size case of water before we go, have it on ice in the car. Like we have a thing of water in the back right now in ice. And
but getting off the strip for sundries like that, although they have now opened a Target, a CVS, and other things like right there on the strip, from what I understand, there's still kind of strip pricing. You're paying for that convenience, but if you have the means to, drive a couple of miles more into the town rather than, staying locked into the strip area, it's usually pretty, it's normal pricing again. So, you're paying $1 or $2 less for that bottle of water.
and gas.
And gas is cheaper.
And banking, do not, if you can help it, use the ATM at the casinos.
Yeah. But the other thing to go off strip for, and one that I am definitely looking forward to, is going to be really good coffee.
Oh, yes.
At Dutch Brothers.
Dutch Brothers. If you do not know about Dutch Brothers, if you have not experienced the magic of Dutch Brothers coffee, if you're a coffee person, Dutch Brothers coffee is widely a Pacific Northwest chain that is wonderful.
But they are starting to move into Arizona, Nevada.
Yeah, a little bit. I really want them to just continue that down.
I would like them to continue their downward movement.
Down south.
So far, I think the closest one to us is like Apple Valley, which is still like 100, 200 miles away from us.
Yeah, it's a little far. But we will be definitely partaking in some Dutch Brothers coffee, possibly on the way in. Now, while we're kind of like trying to figure out how we get back into the freeway, because I think that's probably
Okay.
yeah, potty stop will be on the future. Across the way here from us in the hills is Calico. So,
Like the world famous Calico Ghost Town and Mine.
So, like, if you're a So.Cal person and you grew up in So.Cal and you've been to Mouse Berry's farm and you've ridden the Calico mine ride, guess where that came from?
That's what the Calico.
Like, literally some of the equipment came from. So here we go. Looks like. Yeah, so that came from Calico, which is in them hills yonder. That would be.
You can kind of sort of see the sign.
You can kind of see the sign back here.
Sideways at the top of that red rock.
Trying to.
But now we're going to turn away from it.
Yeah, now we're turning away from it. But that was Calico. Now, okay, I'm going to try to zoom in on this. So this is another interesting thing that we love to see every time we come. It's gotten more of a rundown as we've gone. But this used to be, on the left-hand side here, a water park. It is an abandoned water park. It has been abandoned since the late 80s/early 90s. It's become a film location. A lot of people have used it for like videos. It is completely tagged up now. But yeah, I think it only lasted for maybe 4 or 5 years, because I can only imagine how hellishly hot it becomes. And you're really not, like your closest neighbor is Barstow. So, I mean, and no offense to anybody from Barstow.
What did you call it? Lizard weather?
Lizard weather, yes. But there's it's good lizard weather at Barstow. That little area right there will be the last thing you see until you come up to Baker. Baker is another popular stopping spot, but also kind of like a little blip on the map. That's where the world famous temperature, world's largest thermometer is there, which is actually working again. It wasn't for a really long time, and it looks like they fixed it during the pandemic. So
essentially, Baker's biggest claim to fame was it was sort of a halfway point between Los Angeles and Vegas. Now it has developed its own little, obviously because a lot of people were stopping there as sort of like a gas stop or bathroom stop or something. More and more has come in there. So there are a couple of interesting little things to see there now.
There's an Arco.
There's a couple of pretty decent gas
stations. There's an Arco if you
need
to fill up.
There's the
Alien Jerky.
The gateway to Area 51,
Alien Jerky, which is fun. Which they are building a hotel.
Yeah.
So that's actually really cute. They completely if you haven't been in several years, they have built a fortress, an alien fortress looking thing that encompasses, and we have pictures from last time, so if we don't stop, we'll post a couple of the stills. Woo! This is kind of what I should have gotten out the gimbal.
But it looks like they have sort of built this facade around the old storefront.
Yeah.
That looks like it's some sort of alien exploration vehicle. I don't know if that means that then the hotel is going to look more like the mothership.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it sounds like a cute idea. I hope that they are able to kind of make a go of it. It is a popular stop. Their big claim to fame is their jerky. They have other little snacks and things, but I think it's really funny that literally that the shop inside did not change at all. And if you've been there in the last if the last time you went was 6-10 years ago, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It was just a cute little stand They had some fun props out there before. Now they have more props, and they're building this hotel. So we'll see what that is like. There's a really good like drive-through Greek restaurant that has amazingly huge proportions. So if you decide to stop, I think it's, you know, it's like Mad Greek, Lucky Greek. I think it's the Mad Greek.
Yeah,
I think it's the Mad Greek. Complete with the little Greek statues out front and blue and white and totally decked out. They are legit. The food is good, but you will get overflowing styrofoam containers full of Greek food.
Don't pull in there thinking you're going to eat it in the car.
Yeah,
At least while you're driving.
No, not while you're driving. Alright, so coming to you again as we are just starting to get into Vegas. We encountered a huge slowdown on the freeway on the way in, right around Prim, which is not too far away, but
Right about at the state line.
yeah, pretty close to the state line, and there was a huge truck fire. Basically backed traffic up in two ways, so we were stuck there for a little over an hour.
Yeah, it took us a while to get through.
Yeah, so we're getting in just after 3 o'clock now. Originally we should have gotten, you know, kind of closer to like 1:30, 1:45. Yeah, we're getting off here in a second on Tropicana. So Tropicana, here we go. And then like the metal mountain goat art on the side of the freeway. I always like that. They landscape nicely out here on the sides of the freeway. I'm actually really happy that traffic is not too terrible right now. The 15, if you don't have to get on it, you don't want to be on it, especially after 3 o'clock. Usually
I think it's pretty like it's a holiday.
yeah, it's Monday holiday, so we're probably a little bit light. Not as many locals, although, you know, if there are locals that work at the casino, then they're on here too. So over to the left, we have the stadium. Is it the Allegiant?
Yeah, so
Stadium.
where the Raiders play.
Yeah, that's still weird.
It is still weird because we're lifetime Southern Californians to talk about the Raiders playing in Las Vegas. It's a little weird.
It's a little weird. Yeah, so here's Mandalay Bay, the Delano, which I kind of talked about earlier. So that's another one of those special kind of sideline hotels from MGM. And then there's the Allegiant Stadium. Coming up, and you can see Vidara and we are staying at the Vidara this day, but yeah, like I said, we're gonna pull off here and safely exit Tropicana and go get some gas and get our room stuff kind of squared away. That big colorful building to the left, there is the Rio, which I believe the Rio is actually coming down.
Yeah,
or getting replaced.
Or
rethemed.
Retheming it or something, yeah.
And then you won't actually want to go off here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. And we'll see you again soon once we're all checked